Hello my loves and welcome back to another episode of Not the Weather podcast. Today we are here with the wonderful Ellie and we are going to be talking about grief and her experience with losing her mum and mental health and how she got through it all and how she's still standing and shining today, because she's absolutely fucking shining.
Thank you.
Because it's called Not the Weather podcast.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk about the weather, we're here to talk about like deep shit and really get into it, yeah. I like the whole theme of like asking someone like, what's your forecast right now? So the previous guest was saying that she's like, just like the British weather, do you know what I mean? Some days she's sunny, some days she's cloudy. Some people might say they're in a storm right now. What's your forecast?
That's a good question, actually. I like that. Cloudy, I would say. I'd say cloudy. That's how I am most of the time, to be honest. It's not a lot of sunshine, but there's also not that much rain either.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's something, right? As long as there's not a lot of rain, just a bit cloudy. Just
it's definitely been worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like, you know, it's kind of just like today, but there's like little glimpses of blue sky.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like there are like the good
sometimes
moments.
there's more sun, sometimes there's less. But mainly just cloudy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I really fucking hope that the clouds clear up.
Thank you.
Fucking hell, a fly just flew right out. Yeah, it almost went in your mouth.
Imagine catching that on camera.
Nice protein. So my love, we're going to dive straight into it.
Yep.
Don't want it to feel uncomfortable or awkward at any point. Just tell me, don't talk about that.
Okay.
Right. So what was your relationship like with your mum and what was she like?
My relationship was amazing with my mum. Yeah, we got on really, really well, and I was her only child. So she didn't plan to have kids. So she literally saw me as the best thing in the whole entire world, and she made that clear a lot of times. Pretty much every single day, she made that clear to me. She was one of the most kindest, empathetic people I've still to this day ever known.
Wow.
Genuinely, she. A lot of my kindness and my empathy I channel from who I knew of her. Sometimes she was a bit too nice and actually just didn't look after herself enough, but yeah, that was the main thing that everyone knew about her, is she was the kindest, most empathetic, most generous, down-to-earth person ever. And she was extremely loved, like extremely loved. I don't even know many other people I even know that is that loved.
Wow.
Like at her funeral, they said, they wrote on her Facebook page like anyone can come, and it was so full that the whole place was full and the whole car park was full.
Whoa.
Yes, because that many people wanted to say goodbye to my mum even if they hadn't seen her in years, because she impacted people that much.
Oh fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not even going to be you that's going to cry, it's going to be me. Wow, that's amazing. So like if I was to ask anyone that knew her, like what's like 3 words you'd use to describe her, it'd probably be everything you just said, like.
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
No one would have a bad word to say, and that's for sure.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, she sounds like she was a lovely person.
She really was. Yeah.
Oh mate, so like, okay, so you was 12, right, when she passed?
Yeah.
I feel like that's quite an interesting age of like where you're at mentally, and like as 12-year-olds we don't really feel like we're kids anymore, but also, obviously we are, but like we're transitioning to teenagers, and so there's like that puberty stage and like our brains are changing. Like how did that affect you at the time?
A lot, actually. To be honest, a lot of people thought that was fine when mum first went, because I blocked it out so much, and I just went straight back into, like, I went straight back into school. I didn't really cry in front of anyone. Everyone was like, "You're right?" "Yeah, I'm fine." But I didn't really realise at the time how much it was affecting me. I mostly realised as time went on how much it was affecting me. But I think it was about 6 months after my mum passed that I actually got my first period. And that was really hard, because obviously I have 2 older brothers and my dad, so I all had men in my house. My older brother really helped me with that, actually, and I'm really grateful that he was there in that moment, because he made me feel not alone, and he did what he could in that moment to help. And my mum actually got period products prior to when she passed, so I actually did have them in the house, which was nice. But yeah, it was I blocked it out, so to be honest I didn't really know what I was feeling.
Yeah.
I just kept going.
Yeah.
Just every day kept going.
That's what so my previous guest, she lost her dad, and she said literally what she did is she just went into education.
Yeah.
So at this age she was like at uni age, and like she just went into uni, and then she left uni and she was like, oh, my brain now, I've got too much time to think. She just went and done a master's, and it's like she was just saying how much like education just helped her, and just like having hobbies, just like having things to take your mind off of it, because I can imagine it's like otherwise you need to survive, right?
Yeah.
You need to keep going.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it must have been difficult. How did that like impact the household? Was you all in one home together beforehand?
Well, one of my brothers lived with me at the time, but he was barely ever there. He just it was one of those people that was always out about but just slept there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really like he was there anyway. But I lived with my mum and my dad, and my older brother lived, because they're my half brothers, my older brother lived with his mum at the time. When my mum passed, my older brother moved in so that I wasn't alone with my dad, because my dad took to alcohol. Like, my dad's always been a drinker, but when mum went, he like divulged in the alcohol a lot. And when I was 12, I remember on weekdays him not being home from the pub till like 8ish, and on weekends gone 12.
Oh shit.
So I spent a lot of time on my own, and I went from having a really close family to like being very on my own, apart from my brother at the time. But obviously my brother was like, I think 22 or something like that, so he was still young himself, so he couldn't do everything. And then when he got a bit older and he got with his partner now, and then he moved out with her, I was then very much on my own with my dad. And at that point my dad got quite a lot worse with drinking, and he was quite verbally abusive to me. He always used to make me feel like I was worthless, or I wasn't good enough, or just, I remember being there and like sitting in my house, and then if I heard the door open and him come in, then I would literally be like, I would feel my heart drop, and I'd be like, I have to get out of the house now, because I didn't know how he was going to be or what he was going to say. And two of the closest people in my life was around me a lot at that time, and they 100% are the reason that I'm still here, because I had them to confide in. And I remember them being there with me, and them also feeling that same feeling if the door opened, because they knew how bad that could be as well. And they would know as much as me, if you heard that door open, you get your stuff and we're going.
Oh shit.
And we would, but there would probably be some sort of thing that happened on the way out, where he would say something horrible to me on the way out. And yeah, I struggled with that for a really long time, because I didn't feel at home in my own home after I just lost my mum. And as much as I had my mum's family there, and I look back at it now, and to be honest, it's really hard for me to say, because I don't like saying anything bad about my family. However, none of them was there like they should have been. None of them. Because I wouldn't be the way I am now. I wouldn't have felt as alone as I was. I wouldn't have gone through all the stuff that I was if they was there. And at the age that I am now, I'm 27, I can't comprehend knowing a 12-year-old up to 16, because that was the main time it was bad, and not doing anything. And I can't physically comprehend that being some of my mum's best friends, some of my aunties, my cousins, because all my cousins were older than me as well. And yeah, no one really did anything. And now I hold a lot of sadness and anger and some resent towards those people, because I'm at an age now that I would never have done that.
Yeah. I hear that. Like it's like really difficult to not feel some type of way about that. Like as you get older, like as a kid, you really know what should be happening from adults. You just hope that they're there for you. But like as an adult, you look back and you're like, fucking hell, like how did you allow that to happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you knew it was happening, or like especially like your mum's best friends, or like people that were close to her, like they knew they should have 100%. Yeah. But I feel like one thing that, like, as I'm getting older, I'm just realising that everyone's got their own shit and everyone handles and processes things differently. But when it comes to kids, Yeah, there's no excuse.
Yeah,
there's no excuse. So I'm really sorry that no one was there for you.
Thank you.
That feeling alone must have been like, I mean, I'm an only child, right? So I understand loneliness, but like, I can't imagine what that feels like, losing your mum and then like feeling that amount of loneliness. That's fucking awful, man.
Yeah, it was hard. It was definitely hard.
So like from like the age of 12 to 16, things were bad with your dad. Did things get better?
They have got better, yeah. At one point I was on the phone, actually, to one of my friends at the time, and I was basically having a really bad breakdown. And I was talking about a lot of my suicidal thoughts, about the fact that I didn't want to be here anymore, about the fact that I physically didn't know what to do in that moment. Like, I just didn't know how to look after myself, and I spoke a lot about my experiences and how people have made me feel on that phone call. I didn't know, but my dad was listening to that phone call.
Oh.
He heard me have a breakdown, and then he like went to the bottom of the stairs and then was trying to listen to the conversation. I said a lot of stuff about my dad in that conversation.
Shit.
About how he was awful, and I think it kind of clicked in his head of how he actually was being and how he was taking a lot of his hurt out on me. He changed from that, and he's never horrible to me or anything like that anymore. He apologized for being that way, but we still have a complicated relationship. Like, I live with him and we get on fine, but there's never a time that I'll go to him if I'm struggling. There's never a time that we don't even really sit there and have conversations about my mum. Like, we're not deep with each other. We say, hello, you all right? He'll tell me if something's happened at the dentist or the doctors. I'll say the same thing, but like, that's as far as it goes, really. We don't, most of the time he doesn't even know where I am. Like, some of my friends will come back and be like, oh yeah, we went there the other day, or we've been here, and he's like, oh, did you? And they're like, did you not tell your dad? And I'm like, I don't tell my dad anything. I don't feel the need to tell my dad anything. He's lost that privilege.
Yeah.
So we're just on a mutual fine level.
Yeah.
Which works for me.
Yeah.
So
do you want more? Would you
not
like,
now.
No?
Not now. No, it's too late for
That
me.
ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Was there a point where like you would have wanted to have like a close relationship with him? Like,
yeah, for years I did.
Yeah.
For years I did.
How old was you, sorry, when he heard you on the phone having the breakdown?
16, 17, something
Okay.
like that. And then it like slowly changed after that.
Yeah. Did he? He obviously told you that he heard the conversation.
Yeah, but he didn't tell me straight away.
Oh right. Okay.
He left it a little bit of time, and then he like just started acting different. So it was kind of weird for me. And then he told me that he'd heard the conversation. I was like, oh, that's why.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't feel like I really want a close relationship with any of them now, to be honest, because I just feel like it would always be carried in the back of my mind, and I don't think that I could be fully me with them anymore.
Yeah. Like, it would feel like not very genuine. It would feel
Yeah.
like kind of forcing it for the sake of just having family around or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm quite, like, I know who I want in my life and I know who I don't. And to me, they've showed who they are from that. And people like that I don't tend to want in my life anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're there in my life how family will be, but I'm not going to make them there any extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. Honestly, it really is about like you can choose your own family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Got a few questions from Instagram, right? First of all, someone just said, proud of you for keeping on going.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah. Big up you for saying that. That's lovely. How difficult do you find it talking about your mum now?
I don't really find it difficult talking about her anymore. I did for a long time. Actually, that's actually a lie. For a long time, I could say the whole day of when she passed, straight faced, without even getting emotional, because I blocked it out that much.
Wow, you was like disconnected from
Yeah.
that emotion.
Yeah, for
Do
a
you
really
feel
long
like,
time.
I mean, if you could like change how you responded at the time, obviously you can't, but like, do you think you would have still like blocked it out the same way? Because I feel like that's like the coping mechanism, right? Or
I
do you wish that
think-
you felt it more?
It's hard to answer because obviously I was young, and I think I didn't realise I was blocking it out because I was young.
Yeah, your brain just took over.
If I could change something, I would hope that someone would have got me therapy young. That's what I would have needed. Yeah. That's 100% what I would have needed. That would have changed my life if I got therapy when mum went. But I didn't, and that made me block it out. And it wasn't until I did therapy later in my years, I think only 4 years ago or something, I started doing therapy for, you know, stop blocking it out. And that was the first time that I was actually able to acknowledge how I felt about it, actually cry about it, actually talk to my mum, actually, just actually feel from it, really. And now I can talk about it in a more healed way, not in a way of blocking it out. Like, I do get emotional sometimes now, and I can talk about it, like speaking about how I feel, not just like the facts, if that makes sense. And yeah, that's basically what's changed in regards to that. But yeah, I don't really get upset about it anymore. I actually like to release it now, I guess.
I can imagine, like, it's actually like nice to talk about her. Like, she's still with us, you know?
100%.
Like, she's not too far away, you know? Like, one day you'll see her, and it's like just knowing that, I feel like, I mean, I haven't lost anyone super close to me, but if I did, I feel like that's what would bring me peace, because where I'm at now is like spiritually, you know, I'm like, nothing is truly gone, you know?
She's always with me anyway, in my ring.
No way.
Yeah, her ashes are in there. Oh, and it's engraved, I'll show you if it comes on finger. Says there, I love you, Mum.
Oh my God, that is beautiful.
Yeah, so, and you will never not see me wear this ring, for sure.
I didn't know that you could do that.
Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, she's literally with me everywhere I go anyway, so.
Oh.
Every time I'm struggling or like I'm anxious or something, I push it like a button in like a comfort way.
Yeah.
Like, I push it like a button as if she was hugging me, sort of vibe.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Yeah.
The next question is, having a parent who used alcoholism to cope, how did you cope?
Not very well. I coped with self-harm, to be honest. That's how I coped.
Oh, shit.
Every time I felt like I was like this close to doing something that I shouldn't, I would harm myself in a way to make myself stay. Yeah, so it was a coping mechanism. A lot of people, some people, everyone uses self-harm in a different way, but for me, I used self-harm to stay. So the scars that I have on my arms, they're not, well, they are because I was hurting, but they're because I stayed. They're there because I stayed. They're there because I'm here.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't hide them, or I don't do anything to try and get rid of them. I always wear them out proudly, because to me, they're just part of what made me stay. But yeah, I didn't have the best coping mechanism, but it made me stay, so.
so yeah.
And now I'm 3 years self-harm free, so.
Oh, well done.
Thank you.
That just gave me goosebumps.
It shows strength, it shows journey.
Yeah.
It's not something that needs to be hidden or something that you need to be ashamed of.
Talking about mental health, when did you feel like your mental health went on a decline? Was it like straight after mum, or as you got older?
To be honest, from 12 to 14, it's quite a blur for me. And I think that was because I just kept going, even though I wasn't feeling okay.
It was like an autopilot.
Yeah. So I probably would say then, I just didn't realise then. It was probably 14 when I actually realised that I was struggling, that I didn't want to be here, that it took over, I guess. I was blocking it out for a long time, and then it took over.
Yeah.
But I guess it started pretty much as soon as mum went.
Yeah.
I just didn't realise.
When did you like realise that it was like, would you say that you have depression, or was there like, did you go to the doctor at all at any point, or did you ever like
I went to the doctor probably not until I was like 18. Then they recommended me medication. I took medication for a little bit, and then I very drastically took myself off it. Don't do that, by the way. Not wise. I just the thing is, and I still struggle with it to this day, a lot of people, when they've got severe depression, they struggle to have a routine, right? So how the hell do you have a routine with taking your tablet?
Yeah.
Beats me. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for me at all, because I could not have a routine of taking it. And also, then when they went out, I had to go back to the doctor to sort it out. That also felt like too much.
Yeah.
I was just about living.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just knew I needed to get more, and I was like, no, I'm not going. So I didn't. And that got worse because of that. And then a couple of years later, my auntie got me in touch with a therapist, and I've been doing therapy since, which really helps.
Okay.
And really has, like, if I didn't have therapy, I would not be the person I am today. It switched things for me.
Wow.
I recommend therapy to literally everyone, even if you haven't gone through anything. I think everyone needs a space where they can speak about their own issues, where they don't have to worry about who they're saying it to.
Yeah. It's kind of like what you said, like, not long ago, like, it's sometimes better to talk to someone that that's not in your immediate, like, group or whatever, like, someone who actually, like, doesn't know anything about you, so they can really look at you from, like, the outsider perspective. I've done therapy as well, and it definitely helped me for sure. Like, it's just, like, helps you, like, understand why you were, like, how you were. So, like, for me, I don't remember, like, a lot of my childhood, right? And, like, the therapist was, like, telling me how, like, that is, you know, a coping mechanism, because your brain is, like, on survival. And it's like, if we remember these things, we're not gonna continue to survive. So that's fucking blacked out. So with therapy for you, like, because a lot of people are reluctant to go to therapy, right?
Yeah.
Is there, like, one specific thing that your therapist taught you or said to you that made something click in your brain and that helped you?
I can't think off the top of my head, because there's been quite a few.
Yeah,
honestly, there's been quite a few. But I just think having that safe space, like me being a massive people pleaser, I always feel guilty talking about myself. I always feel guilty saying to people how I feel, even if it's the closest people to me. If I have to tell them that I'm struggling that day, I feel guilty.
Really?
Yeah, and I really struggle with it. So much so that I will block it in a lot of the time. Like, if I'm having a bad day and someone will be like, how are you today? I'll be like, yeah, I'm all right, even though I'm not having a good day. And then, like, later, after the day's passed, I'll be like, yeah, I didn't have a good day the other day. And they're like, why don't you tell me? And I'm like, I can't.
Is that because, like, you don't want them to feel bad, or, like, you don't want them to, like...
A few reasons. I don't want them to feel pressure to make me feel better. I don't want them to be affected by my negative energy. I don't want to make them worry about me. It's all about the other person, and because I'm like that, therapy is really good for me, because it's a place that I don't have to ask her how she is.
Yeah.
She says, how are you? I can talk.
Yeah.
I don't need to worry about what I'm saying. I don't need to worry about if it's going to affect her. I don't need to worry about if I'm going to worry her, because that's her job. And yeah, if you're a person like that, therapy is incredible to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like that in itself will be very helpful for people to hear.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've heard of a lot of people being, like, people pleasers, and, like, I never realised that, like, I've never heard the perspective of, like, even down to, like, someone asking you how you are, like, you modify your response because of that. That's actually really sad, babe.
Yeah, it's quite sad.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I feel really fucking privileged that, like, you've been honest with me and, like, told me how you feel today.
Thank you.
Like,
you're really easy to talk to. Like, when you asked me to come on this, I just felt easy. Because literally, as soon as we met, we sat there and spoke and had a deep conversation for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you are genuinely, it's easy, really easy to talk to you, and really easy to open up to you.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Bro, I'm actually, like, you know what? So, like, I never used to be emotional, yeah? Long story short, I never knew my dad.
Right.
And I found him when I was 21 on Ancestry, banter. And, like, since that, I have become, like, so emotional. And that's probably something that I need to work on in therapy. But, like, I don't know what it is. There was just something in me that, like, I used to be proper strong. I never used to fucking cry. As soon as I found that prick.
Do you not think that that could have been you blocking it out?
Oh shit. yeah, because like I said, like, I've had a tendency, like, I've had like a skill almost to, like, block things out.
Yeah.
And I guess, like, finding him that shattered the fucking glass.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine so.
And like, honestly, like I can cry at anything every day. Like it's actually like too much.
I think it's good to be emotional. I actually genuinely, the people that show their emotion easily, like you're doing, are my favourite type of people. I just think it shows such a genuine, down-to-earth person if you are able to show your emotion. I think it says a lot about the person you are. I don't think it's anything that you need to be ashamed of or hide.
Thanks, love. It's just a bit awkward when like I'm like hosting a podcast.
No, but
trying to like.
No, but like for someone who's on your podcast, that makes me feel more comfortable.
Okay, all right, that's great then.
Like I'm not feeling awkward because you're crying. I'm feeling like you're listening to me. I'm feeling like you're taking in what I'm talking about. I feel like we're connecting. Like it doesn't put me off or anything.
Okay, that's great.
And I'm sure other people will feel the same.
Okay, thank you. I need that validation.
Plus, it's a deep podcast.
Yeah.
Talking about deep stuff, like you're bound to get emotional.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Thanks.
Plus, you're hearing stories for the first time, whereas the person on your podcast is telling them.
True, yeah. Okay. All right, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next question. Knowing what you know now, like since going therapy and like, you know, working through your grief as an adult, what would you tell like someone who's 12 going through this? If you could be there for you, how would you navigate that?
Looking back, to be honest, it's hard to look after yourself when you're 12. I feel having a good support around you is the main thing. So if anything, let me give advice to people who will be around someone
Let's
like
switch
that.
To that. Yeah. If you know someone who's young and has lost a parent, like how
then be a support system for them. Just be a support. You don't need to be there all the time. Like I don't mean like completely ignore your own life and then be there for someone, but literally just checking on them and making days to go out with them and not stopping, basically, because I found a lot of people was checking on me for a while when I was young, and then all of a sudden they all stopped. That actually kind of hit harder because you had people and then you had no one. So be consistent. Even if someone was 12 when it happened and then you still know them when they're 18, still check on them.
Yeah.
Like it's so important and it really does make a difference.
Yeah, consistency is everything with kids. Yeah, so important.
100%. But to people who are going through it, if you can, don't block it out. Do what you can to try and connect with the person that you've lost. Writing letters is a good one, and having just a little journal that you can tell them the significant stuff, tell them the sad stuff, just a place to actually confide in, to talk to them. Don't pretend it didn't happen, because it will keep going for way longer than you think it will.
Yeah.
And when you can, and if you can, have therapy. And also confide in people, tell people how you're feeling. Don't pretend you're okay when you're not, because then people don't know how to be there for you and they won't be there for you.
Yeah. I think like writing letters or writing a journal actually is really powerful. Yeah. Like just at the end of every day, just like tell them how your day was, just write it down.
I got this thing off TikTok shop. I don't know if you've seen it. I posted about it, so there'll be a video on my TikTok, but it's a little journal and it's called Letters to Heaven, and it's this beautiful thing that it will have like, it has little pages where quotes are in it, and then it has blank pages, and then it has like little prompts at the top where it'll be like something I wish you could know, or a milestone you missed, or something, and then you can dedicate the book to whoever you lost in heaven, and then you've got little prompts, so if you don't know what to write, it will tell you and it will help. And then you've also got blank pages if you've got something specific you want to say. And I think stuff like that and having things like that are really helpful, and I think that will really help if you're trying to connect with someone that you've lost.
Yeah, that sounds like a really powerful book actually.
Yeah, it's really lovely.
Yeah.
I think the brand's called Night Owl. Might be wrong, but it's something like Night Owl. But yeah, it's on TikTok shop and it's called Letters to Heaven.
When did you start using it, and has it been...
Not that long ago actually, because I didn't know about it, but I have always wrote letters to my mum, just here and there.
Yeah.
But having this book has made it a lot easier to actually think, oh, I'll go write a letter to her, because the book is there, the place is there. You don't just have to figure out the idea yourself. It's already there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it definitely really helps. I always miss my mum a lot when it comes to my career, because there's a lot of stuff within this that I've wanted to tell her that I know that she would love to hear that I can't. So it's a good place to sort of let out all that.
Do you want to share any of those?
Well, it's just all of it really. Just having a platform, having a message to spread. Working with Ann Summers, because my mum used to have Ann Summers parties.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So she would love that.
I always wanted to like have an adult in my life that had Ann Summers parties. Like I just hear about them and like never got to like see it. You know, like,
yeah.
the
My mum used to go to some of them, so I would love to show her that and tell her about that, and all of the photo shoots I've done, because even when I was young, like we went to Turkey, and I remember there was this one time that I wanted to go play with the friends that I just met in Turkey, and Mum's like, we've got a photo shoot, we have to do the photo shoot, and then there's like me standing on a tree.
So your mum was into photo shoots as well?
And she got it blown up. There's literally a picture about this big of me like this against a tree when I was young, literally still in my house. And yeah, there's another one in her room which is like a professional photo of me when I was like 3. Like she loved it, so she would have loved to see all the photos that I took.
Yeah. So she'd been putting you in front of that camera from a young age. So now she'd be like, yeah, yes, girl, get it.
Yeah.
She's just there at your photo shoots now, with you just there like, yes, just
literally. I just know she would have them all around the house.
Yeah.
Underwear or not, she's like, yes.
I love that. That's lovely. Actually, let's just talk a little bit about your social media. How did you get into it, and did you find it was like a great like release for you, like an outlet for you, like creatively?
Oh, it changed my life.
Yeah, it
genuinely has changed my life. And like, as much as I know obviously my page is there to help people, they don't realise how much they help me.
Yeah.
They've gave me a whole purpose, and with my mental health, I struggle to have like a regular job. Mm-hmm. So much so like it would make me go crazy basically. Mm-hmm. So it was a way for me to have a purpose and to have the freedom to look after my mental health at the same time. And that really helped.
Was that like an intentional thing when you started? Like, did you start it saying like, I want this to be like a job?
No, I didn't. So I've had body image issues most of my life. Not anymore, but I did have most of my life. There was a time where I was really depressed and lost loads of weight. There was a time where I was really depressed and gained loads of weight. And I've been from a size 8 to a size 22. All of those sizes, I didn't like how I looked. So I basically learned from my own experience that size was nothing about it. It was about how I felt towards myself and how I saw myself. And that realization kind of made me stop putting so much focus into the way that my body looked, more so to the way that I felt. But as well as that, I'm sure most people say this, but seeing creators with my body type really helped. I remember seeing Ellie London for the first time, and I had never seen someone with hip dips like mine. And when I saw her, I can't explain how much of a switch it was to me. It was like, I don't know, it was crazy. I saw it and I was like, she looks beautiful, and she has my hip dips that I have consistently hated my whole life, no matter what anyone said, but I can see her and look beautiful. And I realised how much that impacted me, and how much representation can impact people, and that if there was more people to do that, then that would impact more people. That's why I wanted to be the representation. And then I have my last reason. My best friend, she was struggling with an eating disorder at the time, and she struggled really quite bad with it, and she didn't have very much of a support system around her. And she says herself that I'm the main reason that she got out of that eating disorder. Oh, wow. And through that time that she was going, this is a time I'm going to cry. Why am I going to cry at this? And through that time, yeah, she really struggled. And I spent a lot of my power and my time to try and show her that food wasn't the enemy, basically. And show her that it didn't matter how she felt. And the way that I helped her kind of showed me that I can help people, and then made me want to help more people in a broader way. And I had my profile that was already my my regular profile anyway. So I just started posting some self-love stuff, and the people who already followed me took to it quite nicely. And the responses I was getting from people who I was helping just made me want to carry on. And I literally just carried on just making content to help people. It was never for a career. It was never to get money. But then brands obviously started to reach out. Obviously started with gifted stuff, but I really liked getting gifted stuff because I was learning about loads of new brands. I was learning about like eco-friendly period brands that I'd never even heard of, or like inclusive lingerie brands that I've never heard of. And it was really like, it wasn't just about working with brands either, it was about showing people that these places exist that I didn't know either, which I loved. And then through that is when it became my career. Yeah.
How do you feel about it right now? Like, because as a creator myself, like, I feel like this could just be an ADHD thing, but like, I go through phases where I'm like, yes, fucking love it. Like, I want to talk about this, that, and the other. And then I go through phases where I'm just like, oh my God, like, I don't want people to look at me. Like, I don't want to be like, sometimes I just think about actually deleting it all. And like, I don't like want to be like the center of it. And then I'm like, actually, this is great because someone's messaged me saying how much I've helped them. And then I'm like, all right, I'll keep going then. All right. You know what I mean? It's a tricky one. Do you ever like have moments like that, or it's just consistently?
I do have moments like that, but I always know deep down I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to delete it. I know I'm not going to stop posting. I know it's what feels right for me. I know it's my purpose, and nothing has ever felt more right than what this feels. But yes, I do have times where sometimes I'm like, I can't do it anymore, or the comparison is hard, or like, because the thing is, I say this to people a lot of the time, like, when you're in any sort of normal job, you don't see people's successes 24/7. But when you're a creator, all you ever see is other people's successes. So it's very easy to just naturally compare to how well other people are doing and have imposter syndrome and think you're not doing well enough. And that comes up a lot, but usually when that happens, I try and go offline. I try just not look at anything that anyone else is doing, and I try and remind myself that I don't need to watch what everyone else is doing to post.
Yeah, for real. I think I've definitely fallen in traps of like seeing what was successful for this creator. Oh, now I'm going to recreate this, I'm going to recreate that. But actually, like, that's not how I started. That's not what actually got me to where I am. Like, it was just like me being authentically me, talking about my flaps online. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, no one else is doing that. I just started doing it, and so that was what worked. So I think sometimes I just need to like get like rerouted to like what it is and why I actually do this in the beginning, like why I actually want to like fucking help people and how, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
It's a tricky one. If there's like one thing that you could tell to someone who's struggling with their body image, what would it be? Like, I know you obviously talk about this on your socials, but like if you could just put it into like a sentence, like, you know, they just hate how they look, and you know, it's ruining their fucking life basically. Is there anything that you would say to that? I have 3 things that I have consistently repeated to myself, and I still do even when like thoughts come up. One of them, and yes, they will sound cliche, but they're important. One of them is treat yourself like your best friend, because I just think that you are so, like, everyone's so nice to their best friends, so nice, like sees them as like the best thing ever, but then when it comes to themselves, everything's wrong. So as soon as you go and speak to yourself a certain way, to think to yourself, oh, would I say this to my best friend? To me, it really helps me stop. Yeah, that's actually really powerful. Yeah. That's just literally just like a mindset shift, literally. Yeah, literally. Yeah, because you fucking wouldn't. 100%. Stop being a bitch. 100%. And then another one that ties into that is be kind to yourself. So basically, if I think of a thought that's not kind to myself, I try and switch it off. I try and remind myself like that, oh, little ducks. Oh, oh my gosh. Do you think that they're the ones from earlier? Yeah. They walked all the way down there. They are. Wait. They're going to that one now, I think. Oh my gosh, they are. You switch that thought. from a negative to a positive, or you try to at least.
Yeah, and so yeah, every time I say something horrible, I think, would I say this to my best friend? I need to be kind to myself. And then the last one is channeling the energy that you're more than a body. So
I remember you. This is one thing that I remember you saying to me when we was at that event.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite one because we spend so much time focusing on our bodies and how it looks, and it's not just you're more than a body, you're more than your appearance as a whole. It's like we was talking about earlier, sometimes you can think about your face, but yeah, you're more than your appearance. And when you like try and channel that energy as much as possible, when you spend too much time focusing on something that really is irrelevant in real life, like whether your makeup's gone right or whether your hair's gone right, it's really not that important. And then when you think, oh, I'm more than my appearance, you realise that wherever you're going to go, you're going to shine because you're you. Doesn't matter if your hair's not as good that day. Doesn't matter if you don't wear makeup that day. Doesn't matter if you're wearing a cosy outfit or over a glamorous outfit. You're you, and you will always be you. And when you channel that energy, that will come up in everyday life, in everything you do, and you really won't realise until you try.
Yeah, like.
And it makes life easier, so much easier.
Yeah, honestly, it really does. Like I was saying to you earlier about like how like I started going camping, and like obviously I'm not going to wear makeup camping. That's long. Who's doing that? So I just wasn't wearing makeup, just SPF. And actually, I wasn't even wearing SPF before, but now I've started, and it's like. Since then, it's been about 3 weeks, and since then I've probably worn makeup once. And like normally I wear it every day. Like I would not be seen dead going to the gym without makeup on. Now, it's just literally that mindset shift. Is like I'm camping, I'm out in nature. I'm here enjoying the fucking world right now. How I look is literally the least important thing right now. Literally. And like that mindset shift is so important because I've tried to tell myself stuff like that before, like this is just a skin suit, none of this actually matters. But then again, you get caught up in the comparison and you see someone like this, or like I'm going to a wedding on Saturday, right? And I've been trying on dresses, and it's been quite difficult actually. It's been like quite challenging for me, like in terms of my body image, because like you know, my belly is out, and like obviously I know that that's fine, I know that it doesn't matter, but because I'm going to like a wedding where it's like my partner's friends, I don't know them, I don't want them to look at me and think this and that. But I've actually just had to take a step back because we have these thoughts come up, and I'm like 100%. Bro, like fuck off, like it does not matter. Like people can think what they want to think, and they will, you can't change that, but all that matters is how you see yourself. And like just know that you're so much more than a body. I really love that idea because we really are, like, honestly, like when we pass, this doesn't come with us. And people don't remember us for our body or our appearance. They remember us for who we are, literally, what we did. Exactly. Like, there was one thing that my friend said to me a while ago that someone had to tell her because she was going through it. Right. When you pass, on your tombstone, great, I never know what the word is, on your stone, it's not going to say, oh, Jess was, you know, she had a beautiful body, she, you know, done her makeup really well, you know, it's not going to say that. It's going to say, like, loving friend, mother, whatever. And that's really what it comes down to. And I think we just get so caught up in, like, you know, our appearance and everything. Like, because I talk about, like, obviously, like, vulva acceptance. I've encountered a lot of people telling me that they literally cannot even like have an intimate relationship with someone. Like there's people really that are like 25 plus, still a virgin, because they hate how they look down there so much. They refuse to have any intimacy with anyone. And I try my best to like tell them like, babe, how you look down there or anywhere does not matter. But like they just can't seem to get past it, and it makes me feel kind of like a failure, like as like a creator who talks about this, because I'm like, surely I can help you love your pussy, but no. But you can only help people who want to be helped. Exactly. And there's a lot of people that will be stubborn about it and won't try. And the thing is, if you do want to get to a point where you see these things better, you have to push, you have to try. And a lot of people just want to accept the fact they don't like it and just live with that. I think, oh, ducks. Oh my God, I hope they come right up here. Why does it look like they are? We're sitting by a lake, which I wish you could see, but the lighting's better this way and there's ducks here. Oh yeah, you can't help people who don't want to be helped. And that's really what it comes down to, isn't it? Because I feel like myself included, a lot of people actually just kind of like go through life on autopilot, not actually wanting to address certain issues they have, because we're just comfortable in that.
Yeah.
So like we're very comfortable like being negative, or we're just comfortable with like change is scary, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And if you go from like disliking yourself to liking yourself, that's a big change. And if you've disliked yourself for so long, that change in itself is scary. And like, how do you even like approach that? Like, you just gotta hopefully get to that point where you're like, yeah, I want a little bit of help now.
Yeah.
And then like, get carried along.
And people get convinced that that's the only way they'll ever be, so that they are so sure that that's the only way they'll ever be that they don't want to try.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I can hear them right there.
I know they're going
you're
to
gonna
the
go
lake.
to that one? Just so the camera can see what's...
Yeah, go on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, to be a duck.
I know, right?
To be a duck and just wander around, swim in lakes. Yeah, we can't help everyone.
Yeah.
We can only latch on and help when they give you a little something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that saying. It's such an old saying, but I love it. You can only take the horse to the water. You can't make it drink.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
You can't fix someone.
No. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to follow Ellie, her links are in the description. And yeah, thank you so much for being on, babe.
Thank you for having me.
Let's have a little cuddle. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.